Every year when the spring comes around, there's a local woodlands near me that has an absolute abundance of wild garlic flying around. Now, I really enjoy going there and taking shots, but this year I feel like I've been doing exactly the same thing as I did last year, and to be honest, probably the same thing as the year before. Same panoramic woodland scenes, same pathways leading off into the distance, and the same documentary sort of style approach. Now, there's nothing wrong with these. I love them. They're really nice, but they're not different. There's nothing new about them. So on a recent shot this week, I decided to be a bit more immersive and a bit more creative and really get something that opens my eye and makes me feel a lot more productive about my photography. It's abstract, it's painterly, and more importantly, it's interesting. This is the final image. Let's dive into how I created it from scratch. Okay, so the final photo is made up of these 12 shots. They're going around this tree, this one here in the center. That's the main focal point for the end photograph, and everything spinning around it and giving this nice swirly effect as well. So there's not a lot I need to do in Lightroom with them. So I am going to create basic adjustments. So I'm going to be doing a simple profile change of Nikon linear, pressing auto, maybe boost it up slightly there. White balance, not too concerned about white balance, we'll keep it as auto. That's quite nice, I like that. I'm going to do a slight tone curve, boost that up a little bit, drop the blacks, drop the whites, raise the blacks, sorry. So as you can see, if we zoom in, they're quite noisy because I was taking them at ISO 6400. The canopy did keep a lot of the light at bay, so it was a little bit dark. So we're just going to run a quick denoise in Lightroom while we're here. And then we can apply that to all 12 photos as well, along with every other setting. Like I said, nice and basic settings. So we just zoom into there and have a quick look at what it's like before and after. So like I said, it's a little bit blurry because I was hand holding, but that's not a problem with the technique that we're going to be using, which does add a little bit of flexibility to the shot as well. So if you're trying this yourself, I think you'll find it really quite an approachable sort of technique. Right, so we've done that. We're not going to do anything else. We're not going to transform it. We're just going to keep it like that. So what we're going to do is select all of them by pressing Shift and selecting up to number 12 there. Right click, develop settings, sync settings. They're all ticked. Press synchronize. So down here in the bottom left, you can see on each one that it's applying all the effects to. It's going a little bit slower because I'm doing denoise, but it won't take too long now. Excellent. So now that that's done, we're going to just right click on the photo, edit in, and open as layers in Photoshop. So we can have layers stacked on top of each other in Photoshop of each photo. Nice. So that's all 12 of our photos loaded up into layers here on the right hand side, and most importantly, we've got them in the order that I want them to be in as well. So the master photo then, that is going to, if we press Alt and click on the eye here, we're going to turn everything off. This is the main photo that we're going to have as 100%, and we're going to reduce the opacity of everything else. But first of all, we're going to be lining up all the trees in each other photo one by one. So to help do this, I'm going to be drawing against these guidelines. So I want the base of the tree center there, and if we drag down from our rulers there, we're going to try and keep everything with this tree as the main focus. So we'd go to our first layer and turn that one on, and we're going to just click and drag that into roughly the same position as the other one. So if you can see as we're turning off, actually it could probably go up a little bit higher as well. That's fine. Next one. Nice. Now don't worry about the sizes and the changes in size and everything. It adds to the drama and the actual effect that we're going to be getting as well. Press enter on that one. And what I like about doing this is it's different each and every time. Quite nice there, so we'll try that. Press enter. Click and drag that one as well. Nice and simple, so there we are. So that's all 12 done. Now all we need to do is the top 11, make sure they're just selected, pressing Shift and click. And all we need to do now is just drop the opacity down, and we can watch the magic happening. Oop, not too much. About 11 maybe. Nice, 13. We'll go with that, 13. So we're going to flatten that image now because I'm happy with that. Let's flatten image. There, flatten image. We're going to clear our guides, view, guides, clear. Now it's a bit flat and it's a bit boring, but we can add that with a little bit of tweaking in Nick color effects as well. So look at the sea of white now though that we've got. We've got this full sea of white going on around here, and we've got these lovely details in this tree. So let's have a quick look. So let's open up Nick Color Effects 9. And we're going to keep it very simple in here as well. So if we go over to presets, there's one preset that I like to use all the time on these photos, and that is, if we scroll down here, clarity bump. It's so simple. Now in the new features in DxO9 is the hover over feature. So if you just hover over the filter that you like on the left hand side, it'll show you an example live on your photo or what it's going to look like before you even apply it as well. So that's nice. So if we just click on clarity bump, because that's the one that I like, it's removed a lot of that sort of misty grey element from the blending and has really brought home a lot of the details and textures, particularly down here with this guard. I mean, look at the details in that trunk. It's still there, but it's got that mysterious, ethereal sort of feel that we all like. And we've still got all these details here in the garlic. Absolutely stunning. I like that. Fit that back in, so. But we're not quite finished there as well. On our filters, what I also like to add is a contrasting color range. So you're going to press plus on there to add one in. And did you notice there what happens if we hover over these? It just makes it a little bit more spring-like if we add this yellow and green tinge as well. So if we can turn that on and off there so you can see what's going on, it just adds it a bit more of a spring vibe to the whole thing. Now we will be cropping this photo shortly because as you can see, where the bands are coming from the previous photos, we are going to be cropping that. But that's the beauty of a 46 megapixel sensor. We've got space to crop as well. That's nice. And one final filter that I'm going to be adding in as well is this white neutralizer, because it gets rid of some of that green that's going on. And the one that I like to use is the wedding dress filter, because I think it adds one of the most neutral white elements to everything and makes it look really, really realistic. Before, after, stunning. So let's crop this down. First of all, press apply. So press flatten image. So I'm going to quickly crop this down in Photoshop before we head off into Lightroom to do the edit. So I think maybe a 5:7. I'm only using it Photoshop because you've got these lines here that we can edit out with Photoshop. It's a little bit better in Photoshop. So let's get this tree trunk as the main part, the main focal point. We've got this lovely bed of garlic running up the center. That's nice. We can probably go up there. I press enter. That's a lovely, lovely crop. I like that. So we're going to zoom in. Look at the detail on that. Absolutely stunning. I do love this technique. I think it's my favorite technique. Now we're going to get rid of some of these lines. So we're going to be very, very easy. We're going to use the lasso tool. Just draw around the line. Like so, and press remove. Nice, and I'm going to quickly do this one as well. We could have cropped those lines out as well, but I think we'd have lost too much of the trunk in the photo and lost quite a lot of the essence of the photo as well. So I'm quite happy to use the remove tool to get rid of those lines there. So let's have a quick look around as we're going along here now. For anything obvious, there's an obvious one there. Go all the way down. As you can see, I'm being really, really quite freehand with this as well. I'm not that bothered by how I want it to be a free photo. I want it to be unique and individual on each thing that I do. It's nice. A bit more here. Oop. Control D. There are other ways you can do this as well, but for the sake of all how I want it done, I'm just going to be going with this remove. Right, so I think that's all the lines gone from there now. So if we just zoom back out, lovely. So before saving and going back into Lightroom, we're just going to flatten this down. Flatten image. Control S to save. Yes, that's fine. We'll replace the one that's there. And we'll jump into Lightroom for a few finishing tweaks. Nice. So what we're going to be doing here is a little gradient running up from the bottom here. Again, could have been done in Photoshop, but I'm doing it in Lightroom just to add a little bit of darkness and lead the eye in slightly. Nothing too crazy. Nice. It sort of rounds off the bottom half of the photograph as well, and then I'm going to add a little bit of detail into this tree. So if we click select objects, will it actually select the tree for us? Yes, done an absolutely banging job. And I'm going to intersect that with a color mask because I don't want the greens of the trees to be brought down. So all I'm going to be doing here now with this mask is adding a bit of texture and a bit of clarity. So we zoom in, turn that on and off, just so we can get a little bit more detail out of that tree from where the ghosty effect is going on as well. And maybe boost the whites as well, just ever so slightly, just to make it stick out a tiny bit. And how's that look? Stunning. And I hope you think so too. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Do hit the subscribe button if you've enjoyed what you've seen. And if you leave a comment, I do get back on each and every one of them as well. Here's a few more photos from the same session that I took. Thank you.